Bakhmut, Liman, Severodonetsk and Slovyansk are the hottest spots in the Donbas. Russian occupiers are shelling Ukrainian positions with heavy weapons. The enemy is trying to advance towards Kramatorsk and Slovyansk. Fierce fighting also continues in Severodonetsk. Due to constant shelling, about 800 residents of the city are hiding in bomb shelters at the Azot chemical plant. Despite the fact that the enemy has occupied part of Severodonetsk, the city will soon be liberated.
Our defenders do manage to conduct certain local military operations, to succeed in conducting these operations, and this gives us a chance and hope that this will continue to happen. What's more, the situation in the city itself may actually change.
It is impossible to determine how much of the city's territory the enemy controls, because of the ceaseless massive shelling. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky also spoke about the success of our military in Severodonetsk.
We had some success in the battles in Severodonetsk, but it's too early to tell. The situation there is the hardest now, just as in the cities and communities nearby, Lysychansk, Bakhmut and others. Many cities are facing a powerful Russian attack.
In the past 24 hours, the enemy shelled about 30 settlements in Donbas. 42 residential buildings were damaged, 5 people were killed and 7 more were wounded.
In the Donetsk region, the cities of Bakhmut, Soledar and Slovyansk suffer from constant shelling. They are constantly under rocket and artillery fire. The Liman and Izum fronts are the main directions that the enemy is trying to advance.
The armed forces of Ukraine repulsed 5 enemy attacks and destroyed 3 unmanned aerial vehicles. Our defenders are pushing the Russian occupiers out from the east. The de-occupation of the south is underway. Yesterday, the Ukrainian military liberated 8 kilometers of territory in the Kherson region. The General Staff did not rule out that the enemy might intensify its shelling in the near future because of the significant losses.
In the near future, the priority task for the enemy will be to increase the intensity of aviation and missile attacks. They are likely to increase the number of attacks on critical infrastructure, to try to capture the entire Black Sea coast of Ukraine, all the way to Transnistria. Alexei Gromov, deputy head of the main operations department of the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine.
In the past 24 hours, the Russian occupiers fired missiles at the Mykolaiv region. They hit a previously destroyed railway bridge. In Lysychansk, a woman was killed by a shell fragment. The enemy artillery also hit the Dnipropetrovsk region. An entire family with 2 children was wounded. Several residential buildings were destroyed.
The enemy targeted Maidansk several times, targeted destruction of the village. 2 houses were completely destroyed and several more damaged. A gas pipeline and an electricity grid were put out of order. Mykola Lukashuk, chairman of the Dnipropetrovsk Regional Council.
The border settlements of the Chernihiv region were hit again. The shelling came from Russian territory. Since the start of the full-scale invasion, the enemy has fired almost 2,500 missiles at Ukraine. About 20% of the territories have been occupied. This is more than 3,500 settlements, President of Ukraine Volodymyr Zelensky stated. Since the beginning of the full-scale Russian invasion, the armed forces of Ukraine have eliminated approximately 30,950 occupiers. The front line is more than 1,000 kilometers long. Ukrainian defenders have liberated 1,017 settlements. Reported by Roman Smoler, Alexei Belov, UATV News.